Good evening and welcome to Howard Rink here on the campus of St. George's in Middletown, Rhode Island, where the Salve Regina University Seahawks will play host to the Bison of Nichols College. Hello everyone, once again Ryan Costa here, bringing you the call of the second leg of this home-and-home series. The Bison and Seahawks met last night up in Burrillville, and the Bison were victorious by a score of 2-0 thanks to a pair of goals from Jordan McGuire in the third period. She got one goal on the power play and another later on in the period to give the Bison the victory last night. Meanwhile, here we are at St. George's, the Seahawks looking for a chance for some revenge. And they look to do that at home, where they have a chance to go 3-0 at home in 2020. In net for the Bison, Abby Bassett, the junior from Burrillville, Rhode Island, making her 8th appearance on the year. She has a .922 save percentage, as the Bison will be going from right to left in their black uniforms. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, at the opposite end of the ice, Madison Jalbert, the sophomore from Beverly, Mass., making her 16th appearance on the year, a .904 save percentage on the year for Jalbert. We open up the game with an icing call, and that'll bring the face-off to the far left circle in the Bison zone. Face-off won by the Seahawks. It's Anderson handing it off to Fantasia, who wrists it on the net. Battle in front. It's Martin battling for it, but coming in to win it is Zadin for the Bison, as the puck will go all the way to the other end for yet another icing call. Seahawks coming into this one with a record of 4-11. Meanwhile, the Bison improved to 3-9-3 with their victory last night over the Seahawks, as we get the face-off once again in that far left circle. A little bit of a stalemate coming off the draw, but it's Lexi Anderson trying to get it forward. Coming down the other end is Kernan, but stepping up and making the play is Fantasia to win the puck back. And pushing that puck forward was Joyle, but the Bison were offside, as both teams will make a change real quick. The Seahawks keeping 5 out. The Bison will make a change, and we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone on the near side. Face-off won by the Bison and wristed into the Seahawks zone by McGuire. Jordan McGuire, the junior defenseman for the Bison, with the pair of goals last night. That shot on net is blocked away and picked up by McGuire. She wrists it down into the far corner. And now taking it behind the net is Isabella Port. In the near corner, Fantasia stepping in and passing it along to Cox. Puck is stripped away by Rukala. And Maddie McCann clearing the zone as the puck will flow all the way down for an icing call against Salve Regina. Face off in the far right corner. And it is won by the Seahawks as Fantasia looks to work it around the boards and find Bryn Mendez. And we're going to get our first penalty call of the evening. It was in that near corner, kind of a blind spot from our vantage point here. So we will get the call. And it looks like the Bison penalty bench swings open, the door to the Bison box, that is. It's going to be McKenna Jernander headed to the box for the Bison. So the Seahawks to the power play for the first time this evening. They are 17% with the advantage on the year. Meanwhile, for the Bison, they're penalty killing at 89% coming into tonight's game. And just trying to get the penalty time on the scoreboard. 18:26 remaining in the first period. Seahawks headed to the power play.
Hey, 1-7, let's go. 8-2s.
Still have a little bit of a delay here. They're working on the scoreboard momentarily as the Seahawks are going to take the time, huddle up a little bit, and try to come up with something, perhaps a quick play off the face-off. Worked for them a couple of weeks ago versus New England College, where the Seahawks went to the power play, broke a scoreless tie, and won it in the third period. Face-off won by the Seahawks. So here we are underway once again. Pearson in the corner, trying to knife it forward to Lexi Anderson, but it's picked up by Kernan. Kernan couldn't quite clear, and it's the second attempt made by Johnson to clear the zone, and Fantasia looks to Pearson to get things going. So as you might have heard, interference call against Gernander to send the Seahawks to the power play. Here's McCann coming from the far boards. McCann gets it poked away. Fantasia with a drive and a save by Bassett. Rebound held right in front of her own crease, but a good opportunity there for the Seahawks as McCann won the puck on the far boards. Good zone entry. She had it poke checked away, but Fantasia was right there to send a shot on net. Held by Bassett. Will get a face-off in the near corner, won by the Seahawks. It's Fantasia sending one on the net, blocked away. Amaral racing to the far corner to win the puck. She'll get the puck again, and it's going to be cleared away now by Lundgren all the way down to Jalbert, who will lay it off to Fantasia as she resets the Seahawk power play behind her own net. Schwartz circling the zone. And Cox with a rink-wide pass to Amaral, who puts on the brakes in front of the Bison bench. Amaral finds Schwartz. Schwartz looking to center. It's Cox on the far side. Her drive is blocked, and Amaral comes in to pick up the loose puck. Fantasia keeps it at the line. Schneider's in the corner looking for Schwartz. That's taken away. Here's Fantasia up top, and she goes down, but no penalty call. Oh, we do have a penalty call, late call. It's going to be a hooking call. So it wasn't the Fantasia contact that drew the call, and I think the Seahawks will be headed to the box. It'll be Schneider's entering the box, so that will wipe off the Seahawk power play with 23 seconds remaining on the interference call against Jernander. So 4-on-4 for 23 seconds, and then the Bison will have an abbreviated power play.
Salve Regina penalty on number 10, Nicole Schneider's 2 minutes cooking.
up at the top to Hunks. Elisa Hunks will wrist it into the near corner where Fantasia is there to pick it up. And a dangerous pass in the center of the ice is blocked down. That was Schwartz in the center breaking things up for the Seahawks. Now Joyle racing into the corner to win the puck back for the Bison. Pettibon up top, gets it across, and now we have a wrister on net, saved by Jalbert. Hunks at the top, saw the traffic, and wristed one on net. And regathering it now is Mel McAleer, the Bison's leading goal scorer, as she races into the zone, gets a shot on net, blocked by Fantasia. 1:10 left on the Bison power play. A wrister on net, looking for the back door, saved by Jalbert. That was Gernander trying to find the back door. Gernander again sending one on net, pad save by Jalbert. Bison keep it in the zone and keep working it around. McAleer on the far boards, sending to Santoro, her drive, save made by Jalbert. Solid zone time for the Bison. They get a couple of shots off, but Jalbert able to direct the rebounds into the corner and force a face-off to her stick side with 44 seconds remaining on the power play for the Bison. There's a shot on net and a score! Kara Santoro from the blue line wrists it into the back of the net and beats Jalbert low to the pad side to give the Bison the lead on the power play. So with that, the Bison scored their 9th power play goal on the year. And they get the scoring started here tonight with 15:24 remaining in the first period. Face-off won back by the Bison. Here's Babcock trying to swoop in and carry it into the zone. She takes it to the near corner. Rocala gets tied up in behind the net. Well, Prezioso wrists one on net. Save made by Bassett. Godelf finds Babcock in behind the net. Babcock trying to center it, and Bassett finds it with her stick and smothers the puck in the crease. Well, the Seahawks will get an offensive zone face-off in the far circle. The McMahon taking the face-off against Johnson for the Seahawks. She wins it. And a loose puck goes over the blue line. Racing in is Kernan. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Her shot blocked down. And here come the Seahawks the other way. Couldn't quite keep the puck as it was Royce wristing it back into the Seahawks zone. Hunk's pass is broken up, and a shot on net goes wide for McMahon. She got the turnover in the offensive zone. Now here she is battling behind the net. McCann swoops in and steals. Loose puck. McCann still battling for it as the puck wrists all the way around the boards, and Fantasia will send it back the other way. Bank pass. Won by Cox. Here's Lexi Anderson, a shot on net, sticked away by Bassett. Mendez in the far corner. Coming in and helping is Lexi Anderson as her pass intercepted. Amaral trying to keep at the line but unable to do so as Kayla Kernan comes in and gives her some pressure. Puck will go down the length of the ice. No icing call. And it's Hunks circling in behind her own net. She will send it off the boards down the length of the ice, but Joyle is there to win the race. No icing. And now the Seahawks look to collect behind their own net. It's McAleer sending one towards the net. It'll end up in the far corner. Taylor trying to keep things going for the Seahawks. And Fantasia will collect behind the Seahawk net. And a shot right in front of the Seahawk bench will glide all the way to Jalbert, who will cover it up with 12:56 to go in the first period. Face off won by the Bison. And a shot on net, a redirection attempt by Egan. As the puck will go right around and onto the stick of Godelf. Loses control of it, and a shot goes all the way into the near corner now. As the Bison trying to center the puck. Pass up top to Taylor. Her shot blocked down and held by Prezioso. Prezioso with the self-pass off the boards. Enters the zone. Prezioso shooting on net, saved by Bassett. And now that pass intercepted by McCann. She tries to work the near corner. Cox is there to keep the puck for the Seahawks. Gets it down to McCann. Her wrist shot from behind the net couldn't be tipped in. Now Pearson with a drive blocked down by Rocala. Scramble for the puck, and it's won by Taylor, who takes it out of the Bison zone. Pearson at the red line. Had a look at McCann, and now it's Mendez who takes a hard collision against the boards. That is definitely a penalty coming on the way, as both players still on the ice. And both players skating away now as we await the penalty call from the official. And it's going to be 2 for body checking against the Bison. It's Rebecca Taylor headed to the bench. Seahawks back to the power play. 0 for 1 on the evening. As the lone Bison goal coming from the power play. Seahawks look to do what they did, as a face-off will go out of the zone, past the blue line. Pearson trying to re-enter the zone. Lexi Anderson hands it off, and the puck could not be cleared. That was Pearson blocking the clear attempt, and now Cox centers it up top to Fantasia. She hands it back to Cox, gets it down low to McCann. And that pass tipped away and cleared down the length of the ice by Kernan. As the Bison able to get a player or two off with 1:23 to go on the Seahawk power play. Schneider's couldn't quite collect it. It's gloved down by Amaral. Amaral loses control of the puck, and it's Fantasia collecting at center ice. Cox will dump it in. Hunks wrists it from behind her own net. That'll go down the length of the ice. 55 seconds on the power play. Fantasia once again in her own zone, looking to break out for the Seahawks. Schwartz putting on the brakes and now continues. Hands it off to Schneiders, who skates behind the net. Schneider's looking a centering drive and a save by Bassett. The one-timer from Amanda Fantasia. And it was good positioning by Bassett to keep that one out of the back of the net. 30 seconds remaining on the Seahawk power play. 10-12 remaining in the first period. Nichols up 1-0 as a face-off won by the Seahawks. Drive on the net, tipped wide, and collected now in the near corner by Fantasia. Fantasia circles and gets it to Schwartz. Schwartz hands it off. Here's a drive at the top, tipped around and in the back of the net. Michaela Carrera from the top. That definitely hit a couple skates on the way back. But the Seahawks convert on the power play to even things up. There's traffic in front. Tipped around a couple times and through the legs of Bassett as the puck trickled in. 1-1. Here we go.
assisted by number 21, Michaela Carrera, and number 7, Grace Schwartz.
As you hear the official announcement, it's going to be Amaral credited with the goal up front to even things up for the Seahawks. As Carrera collects it in the far corner. She looks for Michaela Anderson, tangled now with the linesman. And the Seahawks are able to recollect and dump it in for a quick line change. Babcock giving chase and putting pressure on Pettibon. She finds her fellow defenseman. And it's Fantasia wrestling it around the corner boards now. Prezioso wins the race. Thrown around the boards by Zadine. And cleared out of the zone now by Rokala for the Bison. As the Seahawks will get it in deep once again. It's Maddie Cox who will recollect in her own zone with a pair of Bison coming onto her. That pass wristed down all the way to Alicia Hunks. That puck wristed in the zone and collected by Mendez, who gives chase, and it's taken away and given to Hunks. Hunks enters the zone, wrists it on the net, and a baseball-style catch there for Madison Jalbert to hold on for the face-off in the Salve Regina zone. Face-off won by McCann. And keeping it in the zone originally was Royce, but now it's Mendez who gets past her. Royce coming in, shooting, saved by Bassett. Seahawks still have it. And we get a whistle, net off its moorings. As I believe there was some contact behind the net that may have knocked it off. And as the Seahawks came in with speed, it was all Mendez who gained the near side boards and pushed in on Bassett. Face-off won by McCann. Paulskill trying to get it towards the net. Instead, it's Joyle taking it. Joyle collects on the far side. And Lexi Anderson in a battle for the puck now as Joyle circles around, collects, and tries to center, but is blocked by Pearson. Lexi Anderson trying to skate it out of the zone. Kept in by the Bison. Joyle sending it around the boards all the way to Gernander. Battle in front of the Seahawks bench. It's punched to the far side boards where Pearson is able to collect. Schwartz unable to hold on to it, and it's Royce who will dump it in. Pearson looking to hurry over to Amaral. Pass intercepted, gloved on the net by Port, and a save by Jalbert with 6:47 to go in the first period. All ones on the scoreboard, 1-1, as Tori Amaral able to tie things up on the power play for the Seahawks. And it was a Bison who struck first on the power play. So a pair of power play goals early on in this one. As that puck also gloved on the net. And Jalbert will hand off to Fantasia. Schneider's looking for a self-pass. It's blocked down by Zadine. Bukala gets it over to McGuire. McGuire wristing it wide of the net. Fantasia trying to send it long. It's collected by Schwartz and sent down in the Bison zone as we get a whistle. Perhaps it glanced off a Bison on their bench. But face-off will be at center ice. Joyle and Prezioso taking the face-off. It's a stalemate as Prezioso pushes forward with the puck. Now a shot on net, saved by Bassett. Rebound punched in, and now it's trapped on the back of the net. And the Seahawks get it loose and over to Carrera. Godelf in the far corner tries to center. Prezioso unable to handle it as she goes down. And it's Zadine looking to push the Bison forward. Santoro spinning and shooting it down the length of the ice, where it's collected by Joyle. Kernan in the near corner. Now Babcock will wrist it in the zone so the Seahawks can change out. Zadine also dumping it into the far corner for the Bison. Erica Martin looking to collect in the near corner. And there's a collision right in front of the Seahawk bench. Arm is up. And we will get the call. It's a trip. And Kayla Kernan being ordered to the box by the official for the trip. Seahawks 1 for 2 on the power play so far. As it's Cox, Fantasia, Lexi Anderson, McCann, and Pearson, the 5 for the Seahawks. Face off, won by McCann. Pearson holds. Pearson in the middle now, tipped on net, saved by Bassett, rebound, punched wide, and a solid opportunity there for the Seahawks. Fantasia keeping it in the zone, hands to Cox, to Lexi Anderson, looking to throw it on the net, but it's blocked down and sent down the ice by Lauren Rocala. Rocala giving chase now as Fantasia races in from behind her net, looking to take it in all the way. She skates it in deep, circles behind the other net, and gets tied up with Jordan McGuire as they battle in the near boards. Lexi Anderson collects, gives to Cox, wrists her on the net, saved by Bassett, another shot by Anderson, and it's Pearson keeping it, shooting on net. It's tangled up right in the slot, and the Seahawks still with control with a minute gone from the power play. Pearson has it hop over her stick, but she recollects in the near corner. Centering on net, Fantasia was in front looking for the redirection. And a couple of tired Seahawks will head off the ice after that high-intensity shift spent mostly in the Bison zone. As McCann looks to restart the Seahawk power play in the Bison zone. Circling, finding Cox. Fantasia couldn't get it through, and here's Casey Johnson in alone. Johnson shooting, saved by Jalbert, and she holds on to it. 1-on-1, and Jalbert able to keep it in front of her, as it was Johnson looking 5-hole, but it's sealed up by Jalbert. 18 seconds remaining on the power play. She get a face-off on the near side. Puck popped up, and it escapes the Seahawks zone. It's McAleer leading the re-entry for the Bison. Casey Johnson on the near boards. It's McAleer able to keep it for the Bison. Tied up in the far corner as Schwartz able to knife it off the boards and out of her own zone, as we are back to even strength with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first period. Kimberly Dunn in her own zone looking to clear. Zamaral collects the pass and hands to Godelf as the Seahawks go for a change. Godelf in alone deep, trying to pin in Santoro. Santoro still battling, and she'll get some help as she will get it up to Port. Babcock looking to send it to the other side of the ice. It's scooped up by Pettibon. Bison send it in deep so that they can get a change, and it's Paul's kill restarting for the Seahawks. Babcock collects in front of her own bench. And it's Rocala hitting the ice. That'll draw the arm of the official as we have a shot by Hunks going in deep. Bassett is to the bench. Extra man for the Bison as the Seahawks will touch up. It's going to be a tripping call against the Seahawks with 1:20 to go in the first period. And the penalty box door swings open for Kylie Babcock. Face-off won by the Bison, immediately thrown on net. And it's Jalbert gloving it down. The shot from Gernander. Gernander, a Minnesota native in her junior year, as the face-off won by the Bison. McAleer collects behind the net. It's Gernander. And that was a shot blocked originally. And now it's a battle in the corner collected by McAleer. Gives to Hunks. Hunks the shot gloved away by Jalbert. And McAleer will collect once again. McAleer finding Hunks once more. Looking to give it back to McAleer, but they couldn't connect as Fantasia and McAleer battle in the near corner. And it's McCann who will wrist it down the length of the ice. And only one Seahawk going in for the change with 1:10 to go on the Bison power play. Hunks will take it out of the zone and send it to Royce. Collision at the blue line on the far boards. It's Port circling, hanging it off, and Hunks' shot goes wide. A battle in front of the Seahawks bench, kept by Hunks. Her shot on net, blocked away by Cox, and the horn will sound, ending the first period. 2 power play goals, 1 for each team. That will bring us even as we close out the first period. Bison remain on the power play. They'll get about 40 seconds of clean power play ice to start off the second period as both teams head to the locker room even. And we will step aside for the first intermission and be back with second period action. Welcome back to St. George's. Busy day here in Salve Athletics. Despite the snow on the ground here in Middletown, Salve basketball had a doubleheader at Gordon today. The women's basketball team fell 70-53 to Gordon. But an overtime thriller in the men's game as the Seahawks were victorious 100-99. And later on, the Seahawks and Gulls ready to face off up at the Abbey. Andrew Prezzelli on the call for that one. That is an 8:20 puck drop. Meanwhile, here in Middletown, the Seahawks and Bison are even after 2 power play goals, one from each team. As both teams are even on the scoreboard and in shots at 10 and saves. 10 shots, 9 saves apiece for each team. However, it's the Seahawks dominating in the face-off circle, 15-5. The Bison 1 for 1 on power plays as they have 40 seconds of power play time here to start out the second period. It's Elisa Hunks holding it for the Bison as she enters the zone. Sends a shot on net, and it's Jalbert covering it up and holding on to get the face-off to her glove side. McCann and Michelier facing off as McCann putting pressure on Gernander as she gets tangled up with the linesman, but Michelier wins the puck back for the Bison as they keep it in the zone. Now a shot on Jalbert, and she gloves it. That drive coming from Elisa Hunks at the blue line. 16 seconds remaining on the Babcock penalty. Face-off won by the Seahawks, and it's Fantasia who will clear the zone, and Hunks keeps it at center ice. Michelier comes in for help. She enters the zone and skates to the far boards. Michelier with a simmering pass and a glove save by Jalbert. Michelier came around behind the net, and it was Gernander with a golden opportunity in the slot off the one-time chance. But it's Jalbert flashing the leather and keeping this a 1-1 game as we are back to even strength now. Face-off won by the Bison. Gordon McGuire wrists one to the far boards. Joyle trying to control it, but instead it's the Seahawks who cleared the zone, and the Bison will have to recover. Pettibon sends it down in deep. Carrera chopping at it, and she's able to get it to Pearson. McGuire makes a skater miss, and that's tipped on the net. A dangerous deflection there by Zadine. Fantasia couldn't quite keep a hold of it. It's Port now battling with Fantasia. Schwartz comes in as she will send it around the glass over to Cox. And Cox will send it back over to Fantasia, who sits in the near corner. Her pass picked off. Amaral tries a self-pass off the glass, and she's able to clear the zone as it's Rocala coming in to collect. Schwartz intercepts her pass. And Schwartz couldn't quite stay on her feet. Pettibon trying to work it into the Seahawks zone as Cox sends a long one for Schwartz. She comes and collects, and Schwartz Thought she saw somebody. Meanwhile, Babcock is tripped. It'll be ruled a cross check. And as the Seahawks back on the power play for the 4th time tonight. They're 1 for 3 on the power play this evening. And entering the box is Jessica Mauberg, excuse me. Maddie McCann will win the faceoff for the Seahawks as she sends it back to Maddie Cox. Lexi Anderson trying to keep it away from Sydney Royce as they battle in the near corner. Fantasia wins the puck. It's Pearson up top, giving it back to Fantasia, who spins around in the far corner. Now it's Cox with a wrister and a goal. Maddie Cox from the blue line, as Anderson was there, perhaps with the deflection to send it in the back of the net. And with just 24 seconds into the man advantage, the Seahawks have got their 2nd power play goal of the evening. So we'll await the official announcement on that one. It's either Anderson or Maddie Cox.
Salve Regina goal scored by number 6, Maddie Cox.
And as you hear, it's Maddie Cox
Number 15,
all the way from the blue line, finding the back of the net
and number 19,
to give the Seahawks the lead. In is Mendez now, winning the puck, wristing it wide of the net. And Zadine wins it in the near corner momentarily, as it's battled for and won by Rebecca Taylor for the Bison. And the shot from the corner, but Bassett able to stay in front of it. As Kernan tried the self-pass, but it will trickle down into the far corner. Fantasia collects behind her own net and gives it to Amaral, the first goal scorer of the evening for the Seahawks. As Amaral wants to take it in deep, she tries to find Schwartz, but the pass just too outstretched for her. Meanwhile, here comes Kernan. Kernan shooting wide of the net. Casey Johnson chasing the rebound, but it's Amaral coming in to collect the puck as she meets Kernan in the corner. Carrera giving chase to it. She will send a high bouncing puck down the ice for an icing call. 15:41 to go in the 2nd period. Seahawks on top thanks to a pair of power play goals from Amaral and Cox. Now it's Carrera wristing it out of the zone for the Seahawks, as it's Schwartz winning the puck and throwing it down on Bassett, as she will stick it away into the near corner. McGuire looking for a Gernander. Erica Martin giving chase in her own zone. She's unable to hook up with Carrera. McAleer from behind the net. Her pass picked off by McMahon. McMahon will send it down on Bassett. Martin looking for an opportunity, but instead it's McGuire carrying out of her own zone and sending it off the boards into the far corner, where Cox will throw it forward for Martin, but a bit too far, and it's collected by Sydney Royce. Once again, McGuire banks it off the boards. And now it's Fantasia going to battle. Godelf along the far boards, looks to carry forward for the Seahawks. She'll send it in on Bassett, and she will tip that one up into the protective netting to force a face-off in the far corner. Pearson wins the draw. And the drive by Paulskill is blocked down. And a bouncing puck. That was an insane bounce right in front of Bassett. But a good reaction to get the glove on it. Might have been redirected down, but the puck hit the ice with some velocity, forcing it to bounce right up in front of Bassett. And she lays out and holds on to it. Face-off won once again by the Seahawks as Prezioso trying to tip it down on net. Kayla Kernan racing in against Fantasia. Prezioso now behind her own net, finds Carrera. Puck goes all the way into the Bison zone, where Santoro was looking for Kernan, but they do not connect. And it'll go for an icing call. McCann winning the face-off for the Seahawks. It's Fantasia spinning around in the far corner. Gets it back to McCann, who tries to center it. Puck is still being poked at, and now the whistle finally comes in. It was Lexi Anderson and Maddie McCann poking at the far post, just trying to jab it in. And it was Bassett able to smother the puck and force the whistle. Face-off won by the Seahawks as they battle along the far boards. McCann looking in behind the net. It's Mendez now working against Mickleer. McCann circles around, looking to shoot, but Mickleer keeping her away from the slot. As a centering pass, Lexi Anderson with a shot right on the doorstep. And it's Bassett once again holding her post and forcing the face-off. Fantasia's wrister is tipped far from the net as Pettibon collects for the Bison. And looks like Amaral wrists it into the Seahawk bench for the whistle, and we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone. And they will now put the face-off at center ice. It's Amaral battling against Rocala. And Schneiders collects on the far boards, wrists it towards Bassett. She will hold on to it for the face-off once again. Bison unable to make the change during the stoppage. As Pearson works to keep it in the zone, Schneiders has to collect at center ice. And coming in now is Rocala. Her shot goes wide. Pearson circling behind her own net. As now it's Schwartz racing up the ice. And she will get it in deep. Hunks collects behind her own net and will send it down the length of the ice. It will not be on net, so it'll be an icing call. So the Bison staying out on a long shift, unable to get off the ice here with the icing call. They tried to make the line change on the last whistle, unable to do so. So the Seahawks will try to pin them in their own zone and take advantage of some tired legs. Martins. It's collected now by Johnson, who clears the zone and gets it to Port. Her shot on Jalbert, who will just leave it for Fantasia. Michaela Anderson blocks the dump-in attempt as the puck will circle around the boards where Fantasia will backhand it to Martin. McMahon. She has Michaela Anderson with her. It's 2-on-2. McMahon's shot goes wide. And both teams battling in the near corner as the puck will trickle over the glass and out of play with 10:56 to go in the second period. All 3 goals are power play goals. 5 total goals so far between these two teams this weekend. And 4 of those 5 goals coming from the power play, with one from McGuire last night. Puck tied up along the far boards. Coming away with it now is Egan. It's tied up and taken now by Taylor. It's sent down the length of the ice to Gernander, who wins the race, sends it in behind the net. McAleer trying to center, nobody home, and the puck stays in the zone. Collected by Godolph. She sends it around the boards to Egan. Egan gets it tied up, and Carrera has to backtrack behind her own net. Taken away now by Port, who tries the wraparound. Puck still loose, and finally we have the whistle as Jalbert able to cover it up. Stalemate off the draw as they carry it to the far boards, and finally Maddie Cox settles it down. Sydney Royce picks up the loose puck and sends it down to Fantasia. Fantasia trying to lead McCann forward. Instead, it's McGuire. McGuire skating in, shooting high of the net. Rebound goes right in front of Jalbert, but it's Fantasia who collects it and skates it out of the zone for the Seahawks. Goes to Smoberg, carrying it in. Rocala's shot blocked away by Jalbert. Puck goes all the way down, and racing in is Johnson. She's able to keep it. Johnson circling the zone with speed. Now a shot gloved away by Jalbert. Johnson collects her own rebound. Now it's Hunks with a drive and a save by Jalbert. It was Zindine up front, putting some traffic in front of Jalbert. Battling with Fantasia up front, but Jalbert saw the puck all the way through as she holds on for the save. And the official is going to have a discussion with head coach Samantha Fallon for the Bison. Fallon, in her first year with the Bison, a UMass Boston alumni. And Beth McCann behind the bench for the Seahawks in her 6th season. As we get ready to go once again.
Keep up the energy. Let's go, 17.
Casey Johnson in the face-off circle. And she'll get kicked out of the face-off circle. Has some line change issues. We'll send Mel Mickelleer back out on the ice for the Bison, as she will be set to take the face-off against Tori Amaral. And some more banter between Fallon and the official. So now it will be Mickelleer to take the face-off for the Bison as she's thrown out. We'll try this a third time. Kernan now steps to the dot against Amaral. As Schwartz comes in to bat the puck in the near circle. Schwartz swatting it up to herself. She's battling against Mickelleer. And now Pearson sends it down the length of the ice as Schneider's racing to beat the call. She does. Good hustle play there from Nicole Schneider's, keeping things going for the Seahawks. As the puck stays in the Bison zone, turning pass for Amaral. She couldn't keep it, and now it's Carrera at center ice who finds Schwartz. Schwartz quickly over to Amaral, sends it on the net to Bassett. And she will smother the puck to hold the face-off in her own zone. Face-off goes out to center ice. Hustling to it is Joyal. There's going to be a penalty on the Seahawks. I assume Fantasia was the closest Seahawk to Joyal, who had the breakaway opportunity. It's going to be Maddie Cox heading into the box for the hooking call. And the last thing you want to do is commit a penalty in this weekend series. 4 of the 5 goals scored were on the power play, as the Bison look to even things up with 8:06 to go in the second period.
Number 6, Maddie Cox, 2 minutes for hooking.
Hunks keeping it and sending it in deep, where Fantasia will collect behind her own net. Pearson holds in deep, and coming behind is Gernander, who will be whistled down for a penalty just like that. The Bison power play is wiped out 19 seconds into it. And it's the captain, Gernander, headed to the box for a hold. So just like that, we'll have a long stretch of 4-on-4 action. A minute 41 to go on the Cox minor, and then the Seahawks will have an abbreviated 19-second power play. McCann battles for it and wrists it down into the near corner. McCann comes out with it, and is Lexi Anderson unable to stuff it on net. Mickelleer sends it in deep, where Fantasia will collect. Fantasia trying to get it past Mickleer. Instead, it'll be Pearson now battling against Mickleer, who circles the zone and hands off now to Hunks. Hunks, wrister on net, glove save by Jalbert with 59 seconds to go with the 4-on-4 action. 7:05 to go in the second period. It'll be Johnson and Schneiders battling in the dot, as Schneiders pokes it forward for herself. Schneiders has to hand off to Amaral, who puts on the brakes in the near corner. Coming away with it is McGuire, and she sends it up the ice to Kernan. Kernan with a self-pass off the far boards, looking, circles around, now trying to go with the wraparound. Jalbert was there, and it's collected by the Bison. And now a shot on net, tipped up front by Johnson. And now it's Kimberly Dunn looking to go forward for the Seahawks. And as Carrera looks for Amaral, 10 seconds on the Cox Minor. So the Seahawks ready for the abbreviated power play as she exits the box. Carrera looking for Schneiders. Instead, it's Mickleer coming in as center ice, handing it off. And sending it down the ice is Hunks on the power play. That should just about do it for the Bison penalty kill, as Kimberly Dunn pinned in behind her own net. Dunn and Mickleer battling. And coming on to it is Gernander, her wrister, saved by Jalbert. Gernander out of the box with the opportunity right away in the slot. Meanwhile, here's Amaral circling around and sending it down behind the Bison net. Michaela Anderson hustling in to put some pressure. McMahon collects in the far corner. She has Fantasia. Fantasia is blocked by Gernander. Michaela Anderson loses it to Gernander. And it's Joyle now trying to enter the zone. Fantasia lost her stick, but she wins the puck from Joyle as McMahon assists Fantasia in the corner. There's a glove and a stick on the ice as we will get a whistle. The glove belonging to Gernander and the stick belonging to Fantasia. As we'll get a face-off in the Salve Regina zone on the far side with 4:47 to go in the second period. Face-off won by the Seahawks. It's Cox coming in on the far boards. Fantasia holds in her zone and sends the puck way down the ice, high in the air as it rolls end over end over the red line for icing. So we will face off again, this time on the near side circle. Fantasia in the corner, wrists it around the boards to Erica Martin. Fantasia looking long once again. McMahon gets it poked away. It's Rocala. Rocala shooting, deflected wide. And it's Rocala and Fantasia battling in the near corner. Lexi Anderson comes away with it. Port enters the zone, but looks like Lauren Rocala was offsides, trying to head to the bench for a change. As one of the doors is in the Seahawks zone, she tried to head off. Face-off will go in deep to the Salve zone. where it's Johnson collecting behind the Seahawk net. That shot is blocked by Alexi Anderson. Anderson sending it to Mendez. Her shot, a wrister on net, saved by Bassett. She had to flash the pad out on that one, but she stays in front of it to keep things a 2-1 game. Face-off won by the Seahawks. Pearson's shot goes off the pad of Bassett. And now it's Gernander entering the zone. Joyal slap shot goes wide of the net. As Mendez looks to exit the zone. And McCann comes in to collect the loose puck. McCann skating in alone. In a battle that will definitely call a penalty. We'll see who it's on. McCann got tied up with a Bison, not sure who it was. And it'll be McCann guilty of a hooking call. So the Bison go back to the power play after just 19 seconds of power play time on their last attempt. But plenty of chances with the man advantage for both teams this evening. As the Bison will get another one.
Maddie McCann, 2 minutes for hooking.
Joyal trying to control things for the Bison. And the puck just crosses the blue line. So Jordan McGuire has to go back and reset things for the Bison. Fantasia slaps it forwards. And it's Lexi Anderson giving chase. Gernander enters the zone. Self-pass off the boards, trying to work around Fantasia. They battle in the near corner, and Gernander emerges. Pettibon sending it towards the net, blocked off the skate of Fantasia, and she sends it back down the length of the ice. 1:15 remaining on the McCann hook. McGuire sending it forward to Port, who enters the zone. She sends it back to Mickleer. Mickleer holding, sending it on net. Fantasia deflects it wide. McGuire gets it right back on net. And it's Maddie Cox slapping it down the length of the ice. 45 seconds on the power play. Pearson trying to force the turnover, almost comes up with a great opportunity. Instead, it's Port entering the zone for the Bison. A shot on net, deflected wide. That shot coming from Santoro. Shot on net once again. Juicy rebound to Rocala, but she couldn't quite handle it. Rocala now with a slap shot and a goal. Lauren Rocala collects the rebound off the far boards, circles around and takes a slap shot in the slot to beat Jalbert on the stick side. And once again, a power play goal. 1:49 to go in the second period. The Bison even things up on the power play. 2 goals for each team, both with the man advantage.
Nichols goal scored by number 14, Lori Rivera. Assisted by
And now with a steal, the Bison with another chance. That was Casey Johnson on the forecheck for the Bison. Goes to Moberg. Her pass intercepted by McMahon. Schwartz trying to hold the line, unable to do so for the Seahawks. And now it's Kimberly Dunn fending off Port as she sends it around. And we get the 1 minute remaining call from the public address announcer. Schwartz holds, looks to work around some Bison. Instead, it's Hunks along the far board. Pearson now with 35 seconds gets tripped up. Puck will glide into Bassett. And now it's the Seahawks' turn on the power play. 33 seconds remaining in the second period. As the Seahawks headed to the power play. Here's Casey Johnson, the freshman from Minnesota, will head to the box. So unless Seahawks are able to score within these 33 seconds, they'll have about a minute and 27 with clean ice to start out the third period on the power play. As the face-off won by the Bison and sent down to Madison Jalbert. As the clock reads 20 seconds remaining. Lexi Anderson battles on the far boards. McCann goes down along the far boards, and it's Fantasia collecting in her own zone with 10. Mendez racing forward with 4. It's Fantasia now having to shoot. It's deflected wide off the glass. And that will do it here for the second period. The Bison able to even things up after the Amaral goal. So we end the first period tied 1-1. The second period now tied 2-2 after the goals from Rocala and Amaral. As we will head to the third period with the Seahawks having a power play about a minute and 27 seconds to go on the Bison penalty kill. Until then, we will step aside and be back with third period action. Welcome back. Start of the third period as both teams retaking the ice. A 2-2 tie here in Middletown, thanks to a pair of power play goals by Lauren Ricola and Cara Santoro for the Bison. Meanwhile, it was Tori Amaral and Maddie Cox with the pair of power play goals for the Seahawks. A 2-2 tie. The Bison lead the Seahawks 26-21 in the shot category. And it's the Seahawks winning big in the faceoff circle, 36-14. As I mentioned, both teams with 2 goals on the power play. The Bison with 4 attempts, the Seahawks with 5 attempts on the power play, as they have 1 minute and 27 seconds on the power play to start out the third period. And up at the Abbey, it's the Seahawks and goals battling things out, the Battle of the Birds up at the Abbey. No score available yet on that one, as we start out the third period with Lexi Anderson along the far boards. A shot in on Bassett, and she will just hold the loose puck. Face off, won by the goal as it's deflected into the far corner. As wristing it down the length of the ice is Jordan McGuire. Fantasia there to pick it up, as she will right here. And she'll find Lexi Anderson across the ice. And it's McGuire once again getting it down to Fantasia. Maddie Cox working along the far boards, loses it, and the linesman skates. Here's Schneider stepping into one, and that shot is deflected. Fantasia collects in front of the Bison bench. Fantasia holding plenty of space as she will give it to Schwartz, who attempts the cross-ice pass to McCann, and it's Mickleer with the interception, working in alone. Gets around Fantasia, comes on net. Oh, she brought it to the backhand but couldn't find the open net, as she had Jalbert beaten. She had some back-checking pressure as she tried to put away that solo attempt. We are back to even strength as the puck is tied up behind the net. McCann stabbing out it against Royce. And it's Lundgren banking it off the boards and leaving it to Joyle. And the puck will go all the way down. A little miscommunication by the Bison. Martin giving chase against Royal. Amaral in the near corner, using the boards to get it to Cox. Cox wristed on net, kicked away, and Pearson will collect. Pearson trying to center, but it is picked up by Sydney Royce. McMahon with a shot right in front of the Bison bench. Stick save by Bassett. Set around along the boards, and picking it up now is Kernan. Kernan, a 2-on-1. She has the Dean with her. Off the post and in. Kayla Kernan goes bar down as she skates it the length of the ice, beating Jalbert stick side up high. And she picked that crossbar just right to find the back of the net and give the Bison the lead. Three to two, Bison. This is Anderson trying to tip one on net. Pad saved by Bassett as it'll go down the ice with 17 minutes remaining in the third period. A goal by Kernan, giving the Bison the lead here. As the scoring last night for the Bison, both by McGuire, didn't occur until the third period. Fantasia takes it in behind her own net. And the puck now ends up with Rebecca Taylor. McCann giving chase to it. Fantasia trying to skate into it. And the puck will go out of the Bison zone. McCann gains the zone and takes it into the far corner, now behind the net. McCann picking out options. It's Schwartz in the middle. Her shot is blocked. As Cox will just send it into the far corner. And it's Taylor now trying to fight off Amaral. The battle of number 8 for both teams. Port looking forward to Ricola, but the pass could not connect. Icing waved off as Carrera will send it over to Maddie Cox. Cox regains the puck and finds Schwartz in front of the Seahawk bench. McGuire finding McAleer, and the Bison are offsides.
There you go, 12. Take 2.
Dunn getting it up to Godelf. Godelf will send it off the near side boards and into the corner, with Seahawks with a lot of pressure. Prezioso couldn't fight off McAleer, who sends it off the boards looking for Joyle, and she's got her. Joyle with the self pass off the boards, works through. It's off of Jalbert, a scramble in the crease, and a goal. Tough to see who it is for the Bison, as Jalbert made the initial save. And eventually the Bison able to just shovel it over Jalbert as they get control of the puck. It's Joyle, the first one through the line for the Bison. We'll see if it's her goal. So a pair of goals to start out the third period for the Bison. As we await the official announcement on who got that goal. As the face-off will trickle all the way down to Bassett.
Nichols goal by number 7, Taylor Joyle. Assisted by number 1.
And it is indeed Joyle, as you hear.
Number 17, Casey.
So Joyle, Santoro, Rucola, and Kernan, the goal scorers for the Bison, as they take a 2-goal lead to start out this third period. Mendez looking to skate up the ice as she wrists it into the corner. Crazy bounce, goes right in front of Bassett, and it's picked up by Johnson. Johnson with a slap shot, blocked by Fantasia. Michaela Anderson battling along the far boards. Casey Johnson just pushing it forward for the Bison as they go for a change. And Michaela Anderson couldn't quite handle it going over the blue line. The Seahawks are offsides. Face off won by the Bison. And it's Hunks who wrists it off the glass. She gets it back to her. And looks to go off the boards once again. Amaral collects for the Seahawks. And now it's Schwartz sending it into the far corner where Schneiders gives chase. Amaral comes in and looks to send it back to Schneiders. Tangled up in front of the Bison bench as the puck comes free to Sydney Royce. Kept by Fantasia, and she scores! Amanda Fantasia picking up the loose puck and beating Bassett high on the glove side to make this a one-goal game. So the Seahawks getting the puck deep, forcing a turnover. And it is Fantasia with the goal. She found the upper part of the net, got it over the glove of Bassett. Face off, won by the Seahawks. It's Pearson who controls at the line. Sends it on net to Bassett. And Pearson gets it right back in the far boards. Anderson trying to bat it down. Her redirection goes wide as Martin collides with Joyle. Who has the go-ahead goal for the Bison right now in this 4-3 game. Gernander carrying it across the blue line. Another collision on the far boards. It's Pearson and Gernander. Pearson slow to get up. We get the whistle. Pearson able to skate off, no problem. Seems to be okay after the tough hit along the far boards. Face off in the Seahawks zone. Maddie Cox wristing it off the boards. McCann giving chase. She has to tag up. So instead it'll be Zadine for the Bison. Fantasia with a hard pass to Lexi Anderson. Coming in to scoop it up is McGuire. McGuire gains the zone, but a poke check from Cox sends it loose. It'll go around the boards to Casey Johnson. Fantasia finds Schwartz. Schwartz working alone as the Seahawks make a change. She gets it in deep and continues to chase down the puck. Amaral giving some help as she sends it back to Schneider. Schneider's with the move, gains the zone. Amaral and Zadine battling as Amaral circles and hands off to Cox. Shot by Cox off of Amaral. She sends it towards the net. Saved by Bassett. Hunks gets it poked away by Schwartz as they battle in the far corner. Schneiders comes away with it. Amaral in the slot. Her one-timer goes wide. And Amaral recollects for the Seahawks. She's looking for Carrera. Instead, it's taken away by Zadine. Zadine wrists it on net. Jalbert with a glove save with 10:21 remaining in the third period. Just a check in up at the score at the Abbey. Seahawks in goals. The men lead the goals 2-0 as they head into the first intermission. Meanwhile, here at St. George's, the Seahawks in a tight contest with the Bison, a 4-3 game. 2 power play goals for both teams. As that shot wristed wide of the net by Egan. Michaela Anderson stepping into the far corner. It's McMahon behind the net, giving to Godolph. Mickleer collects in her own zone as she's working around McMahon, but loses the puck to Maddie Cox. Maddie Cox will dump it into the Bison zone, and the puck will bounce off the end boards, and Bassett has to smother it for the faceoff.
Hey, 12. Go black. King. You two.
Faceoff won by the Seahawks. Cox with a drive and a glove save by Bassett. Mendez was right there, almost colliding with Bassett, at least with her glove, and she made the save with the glove, but she holds on as the faceoff will go onto the stick of Joyle, who carries in the zone, looks to duck the shoulder in deep as Lexi Anderson comes in, forces some contact, and gets the puck loose. McCann looking to weave through, and sends Mickleer with the steal. Mickleer shot on net. Jalbert save. Mickleer in the slot, couldn't quite keep control. So now it's Mendez skating it away and sending it on net to Bassett so the Seahawks can change all 5. Fantasia coming in against Germander, who sends it far into the Seahawks zone. Pearson sending it in, and it's Bassett who has to cover it up. And Pearson giving chase will force an offensive faceoff for the Seahawks, and things have certainly picked up intensity-wise. Both teams playing a little bit more physical. Face-off won by the Bison, and it's Pettibon who will send it off the boards. Schwartz trying to carry it through. She's taken down. And the Bison were looking long to Johnson, but she was offsides. It was Zadine trying to connect the pass. Schneider's in the neutral zone, gains the line, sends it towards the net, well wide. And instead it's Schwartz now, looking to center for Schneider's. They can't connect. Fantasia gets it up top, sends it towards the net. Bassett will put it behind the net, and now Schwartz looking to control things for the Seahawks. And puck slowed down as it crossed the blue line, so the Seahawks are offsides with 7:24 remaining in the third period. Bison with the lead. Thanks to goals from Joyle, Santoro, Rocola, and Kernan. Face-off tied up, but eventually won by the Bison. Egan sends it around the boards for the Seahawks as it's tied up in the near corner. Carrera looking to bank it over to McMahon, who collects at center ice. Centering pass for Michaela Anderson, who couldn't quite keep it away from Gosses Moberg. It's McMahon again with the zone entry. makes a player miss, and it's gloved over the net by Bassett. Michaela Anderson battling in deep. Isabella Port sends it down the ice. Fantasia against Germander racing for the puck. Lexi Anderson spins away from Michelier and gives it right back to Fantasia as her pass for Mendez will go down the ice for the icing.
Good, also 2-1.
6:15 remaining in the third period. Fantasia comes in and it will be sent down the ice by Mendez. Joyle collects the puck and enters the zone, but it'll be poked back out as Fantasia will send it down. Santoro banks the puck over to Kernan. Pass intended for Joyle. Instead, it's Rebecca Taylor who sends it into the Salve zone as Fantasia will hold behind her own net. Santoro's drive deflected, and Jalbert makes the pad save. As Schneiders gains his own, spins around, gives to Amaral. Her shot deflected wide. And now Michelier collects for the Bison. Joyle, one-on-one against Fantasia. Her shot, pad save by Jalbert. Pearson making her way up the ice. Pearson waiting, shooting, Schwartz, backhand, scores! It was Pearson with the original shot, and Grace Schwartz, the freshman from Barrington, Rhode Island, gets it on the backhand, puts it through the 5-hole of Bassett, and with 4:55 remaining in the third period, we are tied at 4. A drive there by Ricola is blocked away into the in the near corner.
19, Susie Pearson.
Lexi Anderson pokes it forward to Mendez. Mendez gains the zone and carries into the far corner as it's poked away and given over to Port. The Bison looking to make a quick change as Port comes over the line. Her shot blocked by Maddie Cox and given to Mendez. As Mendez sends it long looking for Amaral. Instead, it's Pettibon picking the puck up for the Bison. Michelier shooting wide of the net. As Gernander comes in against Carrera. Michelier collects, gives to Gernander. They can't connect. Instead, it's Royce. Her shot is deflected wide and picked up by Schneiders. Puck sent behind the Seahawk net. And now Carrera off the glass sends it forward to Schwartz, who will send a shot that'll go on net to Bassett. And Bassett will cover the puck up. .340 to go in the third period. Back and forth these teams have gone. The Bison, the largest lead of the night at 2. They led 4-2, but from a pair of goals from Fantasia and Schwartz, the Seahawks tied things up as that shot from Kernan goes high off the glass. Kernan in front once again, a shot and a save by Jalbert. Right in front, shot by Royce. Hits a lot of players in traffic and will deflect to center ice, where it's Hunks who will try to wrist it in the zone. Kernan collects in the far corner, looking to center. Fantasia steps up. And now the puck is with Susie Pearson. Tied up along the far boards as the clock ticks down to 2:55, where the ref has seen enough and will blow the whistle and give the Bison an attacking zone faceoff.
Good shit, 9-5-17.
McGuire shoots it wide of the net. And now Schwartz will send it around. As the puck will roll right in front of the Seahawk bench. Gets past the zone. Seahawks will make a quick change, and the puck will be collected by Santoro. Schneider's putting some pressure now on Rucola, as the puck will go all the way into the far corner. McGuire battling with Egan, and coming in is Rucola. Amaral receives the pass from Cox, and we'll send it over to Carrera with 2 minutes remaining. Shot by Michaela Anderson, gloved down by Bassett. So we'll get a face-off to the stick side of Bassett. Fantasia, McCann, Lexi Anderson, Mendez, and Pearson, the 5 out there for Salve Regina as they try to overcome a 2-goal deficit to come back at home and stay undefeated in the year 2020. Right now tied at 4 with 1:40 to go. And Mendez couldn't quite keep the skate over the blue line, so she is offsides for the Seahawks. It's Kernan pushing her way down the ice, battling a couple of Seahawks. Kernan centering pass, and now it's over to Hunks. Her slap shot trickles wide. Another rebound there by the Bison. It was Rucola who had a chance on the backdoor attempt after the shot by Hunks. Instead, the puck will go right around the boards as you hear the announcement. 1 minute remaining. McMahon has Fantasia as the Bisons change out. Fantasia sends it to Michaela Anderson, who puts on the brakes, and it's taken away by McGuire. Fantasia pokes it as Michelier sends a backhander off the boards and onto the stick of Kernan. Kernan sending it down the ice. No icing, as it was Johnson giving pressure. 25 seconds remaining as Fantasia holds in deep. Tries a bank shot off the glass. She's got Michaela Anderson, who comes in. Her shot blocked down by McGuire. Michelier finds Joyle with 15 on the clock. Gernander gains the zone, gets it in deep, and she will battle off Maddie Cox as a shot on net, saved by Jalbert, and the horn sounds. We are headed to overtime, tied 4 apiece. The Bison and Seahawks finishing up the home-and-home series as the Bison carried a 2-0 victory last night thanks to a pair of goals from Jordan McGuire. Instead, tonight it's 4-4 here at St. George's. Santoro, Rucola, Kernan, and Joyle, the goal scorers for the Bison. Meanwhile, Amaral, Cox, Fantasia, and Schwartz, the 4 goal scorers for the Seahawks. As both teams talking it over for the overtime period. And battling it out in this Colonial Hockey Conference matchup. Seahawks 1-6 in the CHC. The Bison 2-4-1 in the CHC. We have a 5-minute overtime ready to go. As both teams get a chance to rest up and talk it over. Both teams already well over their goals per game average this season. Identical in that category. 167 goals per game. The teams are averaging 4 apiece today. As we look at the statistical comparison between the two teams, the Bison lead in the shot category 36-33. Madison Jalbert made 32 saves, while Abby Bassett has 29 saves on the night. The Seahawks have 51 face-off wins this evening compared to the Bison's 20. And looking at the special teams, the Bison went 2 for 4 on the power play, while the Seahawks went 2 for 6 on the power play this evening. As the huddle's just starting to break, both teams getting their final instructions for the 5-minute overtime period. They'll switch sides of the ice. The Bison will be they'll be skating from left to right. The Seahawks skating from right to left. As it's Cox, Amaral, Schwartz, Fantasia, and Schneider's the 5 out for Salve Regina. Tied up. Gernander comes in and wins it. Sends a wrist shot on Jalbert, who will hold on with the glove to make the save. Joyle, Micalier, Gernander, McGuire, and tough to see, I think it's Pettibon, the 5th for the Bison. It is, as Pettibon goes along the far boards in a battle with Schwartz, trying to keep it in the zone for the Bison. And the puck will trickle over the blue line, so the Bison must reset. As Joyle holds it and is taken down by Amaral. Meanwhile, a backhand shot finds the back of the net. It's McKenna Gernander beating the stick side of Jalbert to win the game for the Bison. The puck was loose right in front, and Gernander came in and beats Jalbert with the backhand to give the Bison the weekend sweep. 2-0 last night, and now 5-4 overtime victors here at St. George's. As the teams meet at center ice for the handshake, they'll close things out. So with that, the Seahawks fall to 4-11-1, and the Bison improve to 4-9-3 on the year. As next weekend, the Seahawks looking to face Endicott, as they'll be here Friday night facing the Gulls, and then they will head up to Beverly the following Saturday night to face off against another CHC rival. And as the teams head off, that will do it here from St. George's. 5-4 your final score, as the Bison are victorious this weekend. I'm Ryan Costa signing off. Have a good night, everybody.